Hello there, welcome to the Smartstitch Creative Stitch channel. My name is Solange and today we will dive in on the S-1201 panel. This video was requested by Stacy Jones. Thank you, Stacy. For this reason, I have decided to push my video on the video that I was planning, making an applique using your keyboard font to be the next one, as I understood that Stacy's request could also benefit others. So what are we going to learn today? The main screen has 13 buttons, and I will briefly go over each one of them with you. I will show you photos of the buttons, their functions, and later on, I am planning to make a video using those functions so you can see them in real time. Button number 1 is the speed setting. Button number 2 is the speed idling. Button number 3 is the memory folder, which I like to call the saving folder. Button number 4 is the needle button. Button number 5 is the more functions of the machine. And button number 6 is the settings. So as we continue, button number 7 is the color changing mode. Button number 8 is the embroidery preparation. Button number 9 is the inching operation. Button number 10 is the thread trimming. Button number 11 is the frame moving. Button number 12 is the start button. 13 is the stop button, and on the top of the screen there are 5 more buttons, and I will go over each one of them with you. Don't worry about it, okay? And with all these buttons that I mentioned, the 13 on the bottom plus the 5 on the top, we finished the first main screen. So when you click on the third button on the main screen, the first main screen, the button that they call memory folder, it will bring you to the screen where you can access all your files through the USB flash drive. This screen has 7 more buttons. Yes, sorry, but yes, it does have 7 more. So button number 1 is the selection mode. Button number 2 is the sorting design. And one thing that I need to tell you that the people from Smartstitch, they do not call the files designs, they call them patterns. I call them designs, so I don't know how you call them. Button number 3 is the search button. Button number 4 is the USB button, like the flash drive button. Now, button number 5 is the lettering. You don't need to have a program to use the machine. You can just type something and embroider it. This machine has 22 fonts embedded in it. Button number 6 is the doodle button, and button number 7 is a button with more information about the machine. I know that this introduction took a little bit too long because there are a lot of buttons that we are going to cover in this video, and I wanted you to know what you are about to learn. So without further ado, let's get started. Yay, we made it. We passed over that long introduction. All right, so let's start with the first main screen, as I like to call it. Once you turn your machine on and you have your flash drive on the machine, you will see this main screen showing the last design you have embroidered or the last design you have set to be embroidered. Button number 1 is called the speed button. This machine can stitch 1200 stitches per minute, but it comes from the factory with a set up for 750. You can always change. You can go up, you can go down. I have not changed mine. That's the setting that I'm using. My machine is working well, so I do not want to do any changes. So button number 2 is called the speed idling. And if you have a broken thread, or if you have to replace your bobbin in the middle of your work, you're gonna have to use this button. And once you replace your bobbin, you will have to press the button, like the button that I have on the show. That I have the arrow showing you, so you can go back like about 10 stitches. That's the setting that the fact the Smartstitch has set up. Usually I go back about 20 stitches just to assure that I will not have any gap in between my stitches. But it's up to you. You do whatever you want, of course. I go back 20 stitches, and yeah, it works well for me like this. All right, let's talk about button number 3, which is the memory folder button. I like to call it the saving folder because this is the button where I can see all the designs that I have saved in the machine. Because when I click on the USB drive, on that button, the USB button, and I select a design to be stitched, the machine saves it and gives me a number. And if you look on the screen, you will see that I highlighted it in red, and that is the number for each design. But Smart Stitch Smart Stitch uses the yellow color, and the yellow on the screen is not really visible, so sometimes can be hard to see things on the screen when they have it in yellow. So I tried to show you where the numbers are, because if you are thinking about purchasing the machine and you're just watching this video, I am trying to give you a great view of the machine so you can have already a good understanding. So when you receive a machine, you can be more familiar with it. And I noticed that it can be a little difficult sometimes. Okay, so it's not something terrible, but maybe if it was black, I think it would be better. Just my opinion. Okay, so that is the memory folder, saving folder, whatever you would like to call. That's the number 3 button. Okay, so button number 4 is the needle button, and you must click on this button to select what needle you want your machine to start stitching. Ask me, how do I know it? Recently, I forgot to change it, and instead of starting in the thread, like the needle for the thread color that I wanted, it started on needle number 1. Luckily, I was, before embroidering anything to put on my website or to embroider it to sell it to a customer, I always embroider it first. No matter if I digitize it or if I bought the design, I embroider it first. And I like to see the design, like I like to look at the design and see the stitches, see how well it stitches. And sometimes, like when I do on a stabilizer, I don't wash it, but if I do it on a garment, I often wash it, especially when I buy the design from someone that I have not purchased it before. I try to buy something that's not expensive, and then so I can just like I can run a test, and then I stitch it and I wash it, and just after doing it, that's when I will stitch it on a garment and put it on my website or offer it to a customer. Um, and so if you don't change, like if you have a needle number one with a blue thread, as it happened to me, and I was embroidering a black tote bag, and the royal blue on the black tote bag did not match. It was not visible. So now I just have an extra tote bag. But imagine if if I was doing it on a customer, already on a garment that was for a customer. We do not want to waste money. We do not want to waste money. Okay, we're a business. We are here to make money, not to waste money. So make sure to remember. Okay, it only happened to me once, and it was not a big deal. But imagine you do not want it happening to you. So another tip from one of my mistakes. It recently happened. It was like today is Saturday, and it was this week on Tuesday, on Tuesday, on Tuesday, on Tuesday. So it was something that happened to me recently. It never happened before. There is always a first time for something. And this week, this was my first time forgetting to change the needle, to choose the needle. So make sure that you do not forget. Okay? So this button number 5, has some functions. When you click on this button, it shows you two more buttons, and the first button is the home page, and then the second button is the stop point. I have not really used it, so I cannot say much about it, but that's button number 5. Button number 6 is the settings button, and the settings is self-explanatory, right? I don't think I need to say much about this button, but if English is not your first language and you want to change the language, you have to go to this button. I know it has 3 pages. I know pages 1 and 2 is full. I think it has like 10 languages in each page. And I think the third page is not full. I think it maybe has like 3 or 4 more languages. I don't recall. So if you would like to change the language for the machine, that's the button for you. Okay, so button number 7 is the color changing mode, and is where you will decide if you want your machine to do a manual or an automatic color changing. As you can see, the yellow color is back. I hated when I first started using the machine. I hated the yellow. And let me tell you, yellow is my favorite color. I love yellow. But on the screen, I was changing the from manual to automatic, and I did not know how, because the the manual they send the manual they send to you is in black and white. So when I opened the manual and I saw all those pictures and everything was in black and white, I did not have the patience to read it through. So I went to YouTube. I was watching videos before purchasing my machine. So what I did, I was trying to do things, and whatever I did not know how to do, I was either watching a video on YouTube or asking the person on the Facebook channel. I was not taking the time to read the manual, especially because the yellow letter is small and I could barely see it. Let me tell you, I'm here without our glasses, but I cannot read without our glasses. It is hard. So right now, for me to tell you those three small buttons, I will need my glasses because if you look, hold on, because the glass is right here. Okay, so if you look on the first small button, do you see the letter A in yellow? I could not see that on the screen. Okay, it was hard for me to see on the screen. So when you see the A with the two red arrows, one pointing sideways and one pointing down, that means that the color changing and is the color change is and automatic starts. Like that's the one that I use. I keep automatic for everything. The second A is the color change is automatic, but the start is manual. So it's gonna change the color when you set your sequence, but if you don't press start, it will not start. So as I was learning, like the first or second day, it was like I was like, how? Why is not starting now? Why yesterday was starting and now I have to press the button? I didn't realize. I I had to get the book. I had to get the book. The picture on outside is in color, but inside it's not. So, but I had to go. See, I had to go and look and find that those buttons to know why the machine was not starting automatically. So when I finally figured it out, I was like, oh, okay. So now I know which button I have to select. So but I am here showing you. If you see the letter M, everything's going to be manual. So I don't think you want the letter M, because the reason why we bought a commercial embroidery machine is because we want to optimize the time. We want things to be fast. We want to produce more in our business. We want to make more and be more effective. So we do not want anything to be in manual, right? I think you agree, right? Correct? Okay, so the button number 8 is the embroidery status button, and it will remain pink the entire time until you select it and then confirm the status and then confirm it again and then change to blue. As you can see on the screen now, it's blue as soon as you click, and click on the green check mark, and then it has another question. It has two questions, and then you click it again and then change the color. Now the color is going to be in blue, and that's when you can actually embroider. If you do everything but you don't click on that button, your machine is not going to embroider. Okay, so be aware of it, because sometimes we learn. That didn't happen, no, because I am honest about my mistakes. When I make a mistake, I really tell you, even if it looks dumb, I'm not afraid of making mistakes. I try not to, and I learn quickly. Like once I make a mistake, I don't repeat the mistake. But it did not happen to me. But I know that sometimes you do everything that looks more complicated, and sometimes something that is like it's right there. We're like, so it has to change. We have to change the button from pink to blue. And how do we do it? By clicking on the pink button, then pressing check mark for the two questions, and that's how it's going to change. If you click on the X, you're telling the machine not to get ready to embroider, so it's not going to embroider. Okay, and uh, I am being specific about some information because before purchasing this machine, I was watching a lot of videos, not for Smartstitch, because I did not know anything about Smartstitch. I did not even know they existed. I have, because I still have, my brother P615, but I was looking for a commercial embroidery machine, and I follow a lot of people on YouTube that have those machines. So as they were working and showing things, I was trying to learn everything. So when I got this machine, I did not think that was hard at all. As I said, I think Smart Stitch made the machine very intuitive. So as you like, if you, it becomes almost like automatic for you to like, what is this button? And there is nothing wrong. Like you can press the button, nothing happens. You know, it gives you the information, which is really cool. I don't know anything about the other companies. I don't know if all the companies do the same thing, but I really like the way the Smartstitch has it set up. So you can press the button and you don't have to be afraid that the machine's gonna start like moving. Like that's not gonna happen. So you can literally like press the button and see what information is going to give you or is going to ask you. You know what I mean? So because of this, I was watching a lot of videos from other companies, from other YouTubers, and then when I bought the machine, I was watching at the moment I purchased, I was watching Smart Stitch videos. So when the machine came, I was like, so 2 or 3 days, I was like, I am good. And then I was embroidering everything. Like I was putting everything, like I got all the designs that I had from the other machine and what, even though it's different files, right? Because brother used PES and this machine used DST. But I have everything that I had that I have in DST, I transferred to that machine, and I was embroidering every single day, like in big files, because that machine is a 4x4, so I could not see things like in large format. So I was embroidering a lot of things in the machine, like in large formats. So now I have a lot of things that I can really come and show it to my customers, and it's really growing. Soon you're going to see me in a different space, let me tell you. No, I'm not gonna tell you. Now let's stick to the schedule. Okay, we're on button number 8. Let's move to button number 9. Okay, let's go. So button number 9 is the inching operation button, and I know that it says, let me look at my other screen because I don't have my glasses, right? It says turn the main shaft to 100, and the other button says needle down. I don't really know if I have to click there or not. I have not used it. I have not pressed anything. I am leaving it the way that it is. If you know what is supposed to be done, if it is something that was supposed to be done, you can go ahead and tell me. But as far as I know, I don't need to touch it. So I am not touching it. The button number 10 is the one that has the scissors icon, is the thread trimming button, and you can choose if you want to trim just the thread. So if you click on the scissors, then on the next screen you click on the first button, that is for you to trim both the thread on the top and on the bobbin. But if you click on the second button on the second screen, then you are going to trim just the thread from the bobbin. And that's it for button number 10. So button number 11 is the frame button. And this button, the frame button shows you the design on the hoop, and the first button on the bottom left is where you will have to click to select a different hoop. Okay, on this second screen, you can center the design by pressing on the first button on the left. You can see on the screen that has the flower and the arrows pointing to the center. That's this to center the design. And the button next to it is the button that you can trace the design. You press the needle down and then you trace the design like on the fabric, so it gives you an idea of where the design is going to be stitched. Also on the right side, like on the bottom, there you see the button, like the circle button with those arrows. That is the position, right? That you adjust the position. If you press the bottom arrow is going to bring the design up. If you press the top, it brings the design down. Okay, and the right, if you press the right one, it brings the design to the left. If you press the left arrow, then it brings the design to the right. So sometimes I adjust, what I like to do is I center the design. Then if it is too low, if I feel that it's too low, then I just go a little bit up. But because I center it first, now all I have to do is to go up a little bit. And then I go and I trace it. I press the button on the one on the right. That has the flower. Let me see. I need my glasses. Hold on. I'm looking at my second screen. Do you see the button with the flower? Let me grab the laser pointer. Do you see this button right here? This button is the one that you trace it. So when you click on that button, for instance, let's say the first needle that you're going to use is needle number 6. So you select the needle, put it on number 6. Then you go to this button, click on the trace, hold the needle down, and the needle will trace. So you will see where the design will be. Okay, and you can move whatever way you want using these buttons right here, as I showed you. Here, if you press, the design goes up. If you press over here, the design goes down. If you press on the right, the design goes to the left. If you press on the left, the design goes to the right. This button right here, the first button right here, this is the one that will center the design on the hoop. Okay, so once you have the garment on the hoop and you put your hoop on the machine, then the machine is going to center according to the hoop, right? So what I do many times when I want to use this to move my design up or down, depending on what I am doing, I first center it, and then I use the arrows here to bring my design up or down. Okay, so I have an idea. All right. Okay, and I think that's pretty much it. All right, so here is buttons 12 and 13, and 12, the green one, is the start button. Red, if any problems, if you hear any noise, or if your thread breaks, like you press the red button to stop stitching. So it is self-explanatory. I don't need to say much on the screen, but I do want to point something that I forgot. And as I saw this screen, I remembered. So I will get my, when you select your needle, you are going to see right here. Hold on. So when you select your needle, here is where you see the needle. Can you see over there number 8? Because when I was taking photos, my machine was selected on number 8 for this design. Do you see? And for you to choose the color sequence, all you have to do is to click on these purple rectangles right here. It doesn't matter which one you click, but you click on the first one, it's going to open everything, and then you choose your color sequence according to your design. Let me tell you something very important. I totally forgot to add this to the screen. Smartstitch has, this machine has 12 needles, and Smartstitch has one color for each needle. As far as I know, I asked them, and I did not check today if they answered me or not. I asked them yesterday, and I was super busy today, and I forgot to check. As far as I know, I cannot change the colors. So for instance, on Smartstitch settings, the needle number 1 has the blue, the royal blue thread. Then on needle number 2, they have the red thread. Okay, so if you are trying to embroider something, like you have different colors there, right, and you don't pay attention, you might make a mistake. Be careful, because I almost made this mistake. Thankfully, I pressed it. I was choosing blue. I have 3 different shades of blue there right now because of what I was embroidering. And my first video, I don't know if you remember, but I put the numbers. Remember that I pulled all the threads, and I have to pass all of them when I first bought the machine. So I placed the number so I knew which thread I was working on it. So I have 3 shades of blue, and I kept the royal blue on number 1 as Smartstitch has it. So when I was choosing my threads, instead of choosing 4 and 5, and I put one next to each other so I would not make a mistake, and I almost made the mistake. I had 4 and 5 because they were 2 different shades of blue. And what happened was, when I went to choose the color sequence, I looked at the number 1, I saw the blue, and I chose blue number 1 instead of choosing 4 and 5. So my design was going to stitch 5 and 1. 5 was the right one that I wanted, 1 was not. Because on the screen, the color sequence, blue was on the 1. 4 on the screen is not blue. So because my husband came here and he was talking to me, I was talking to him and selecting, and I almost made a mistake. The only reason why I did not is because he came here to tell me that the food was here. And I was like, hold on, let me, because my idea was I will press the machine, put the thing to embroider, and I will go eat my dinner. Then once he finishes, when I finish my dinner, the design is gonna be done. But my dog came right behind him, and I don't like my dog in my work area because dogs always have like dogs are dogs. So because the dog came right behind him, I stopped it to get the dog out. So when I came back to the machine, that's when I realized. So now just imagine if because I sent them a message asking them if I can change those colors according to the threads that I'm using, because I rather like put like pink on the 2, black on the 3, baby blue on the 4, the way that I have, because then when I'm choosing the colors, I'm less likely to make a mistake, especially because my business is not just embroidery. And sometimes if I'm multitasking, that's when I feel that I'm more likely to make mistakes, because I'm trying to do more than one thing at the same time, and that can be a problem. Okay, so just be aware of it, because I don't know if it can be changed or not. As soon as I have that answer, I can, I don't know, add this information here, because I forgot to check. So those are all the buttons for the main screen, right? The first screen, all the buttons on the bottom. But the machine also has these 5 buttons on the top, and no matter what screen you are, those buttons will remain there. The only one that I used it was the last one, which was the light, that I kind of like turned it off and on just because I wanted to see it. I don't really use it on the top, but you can see that I circled it so you could see on the top, because the screen is bright and the buttons are white, so it's hard to see. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe they did that so people would not mess with it, but it is hard to see, so I circled it so you could see it. And I will just go like this because I don't see a reason to um, like stop for each button. Okay, so buttons 1 and 2, um, now that we have finished, right, those are the buttons. You can see buttons that this screen, as I showed you, has 5 buttons on the top, and on this screen I have buttons 1 and 2. The first button is the control cable connection, and the second button is the cycle embroidery. As you can see on the screen, like I clicked on it just so you could see it. Okay, uh, then for the next screen we have buttons 3 and 4 from the top. right? So the third button on the top is the shelf button, and the fourth button is the information. It's just like a more information about the machine. And then the fifth button, you can see the light, and you can see the difference when the light is on and when the light's off. Like it's pretty visible. I accidentally turned the light off like when I first started using the machine, when I was passing the thread, the day that I was passing the threads, all those 12 threads, and then I figured out with the light was. All right, so now let's move on to the third screen, which what is the, some buttons have like it goes to the third screen. Actually, you're going to the second main screen, I should say. Okay, so now we finally moved on to the second screen. In order for you to access the files in your USB drive, you have to click on the third button in the main screen. Okay, here's the image so you can see, right, the arrow right here. So it is the button that like the blue folder, it has like a yellow circle behind and a little pink flower in front. Once you click on that button, that's going to bring you to this second screen that I'm talking about. You are going to see your USB drive and some more buttons in that screen. Okay, so you clicked on that button. Now it brought you to this page. Uh, um, as you can see, the flash drive is the fourth button on the first row. And you can see this is the memory folder they talked about like previously. That's what this folder is, where you keep your designs that you have saved and the designs that you are about to embroider. The first button is the selection mode. If you tap this button once, you will be able to select one design for the hoop that you have. If you tap it again, you're going to be able to select multiple designs. So depending on what hoop size you have and what the size of your designs, you may be able to select 3 or more designs. You also have the option to select all files. So like if you are doing what's the name, patches, if you're doing patches, that's also helpful. It depends on what size, the size of your design and the size of the hoop that you have. All right, the second button on the second screen is the sorting design. So this, I don't know if all the machines have this, but this machine allows you to sort your designs by name, by number, by color, by stitches, by width and height. I thought that was super cool because once you have 40 pages, 50 pages, you do not want to go up and down looking for a design. So if you remember something about the design, you can click it over there and search by it. So that's pretty cool. So button number 3 on the second page is the design information. Once you click on the design information button, you will display the design in full screen, as you can see on the image on the second, like the second image. And it has more buttons for you to play around, of course. How to play around with it. So first you select the design, then you click on the button, and you will have all the information about this design on the screen. So I am trying to give you a lot of information so you have an idea, but to be honest, you will learn more once you have your machine and you can really play around with it and try different things. But I hope this video is being helpful and you can have a great understanding of how the machine works and things that you can do it with it. Okay, we mentioned the USB flash drive several times, and now is the time for us to see it. What you will see on this screen once you click on the flash drive button will depend on how you organize your files. I like to create folder, name the places where I bought the file from. Then I create a subfolder and I name it by the name of the store or the person if it was from a digitizer. Um, you don't have to create folders or subfolders. You can easily drag your files, put inside of USB, and have all your files visible, being visible, just like I have this one right here outside. See how I have one outside to show you? I put them in folders and I kept this outside just to show it to you. Okay, so you organize your files with the better way, like the best way that works for you. On these three folders here on the bottom that I circled, this first one is for you to delete a folder. This is for you to add a new folder, and this is for you in case you're navigating inside of the folders in here. This button helps you go back to the home folder page, should if I can say like that, instead of actually exiting here, going all the way to the to the USB button to then go all the way back, you know. So if I am inside of my add zip folder and I click on here, it's just going to bring me there. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Okay, so now we are on button number 5, and this is the lettering button. There are 22 fonts embedded in this machine. You cannot add any fonts to the machine at this time. I already asked them. They told me that I cannot. So when using this lettering button, usually I use the first space to type the name that I need. Then the second space over here, you can see all the arrows that I put over here to show you like all the information. So I use then the second space to choose the font, and then I click on the enter button right here, and that brings me to another screen. On that screen, then you can play, there are more buttons, and you can play around with it, like you can arc the word that you have, like you can do different things. And yeah, depending on what you're trying to create, it's pretty good. Okay, and this is pretty simple, pretty straightforward, like it is similar to other machines that are in the market that we have used. Hold on, friends, we are almost there. Okay, this is button number 6, and this is the doodle button. Okay, this button is on the second row, so you click on it, then it will bring you to a second screen that I did not put in here, because on that screen you will choose the size of the canvas that you want to work on. Because and then you will change. Once you choose it, press enter, and then you bring you to the screen where you can see my name, and that's when you have some odd on that screen. This would be the third screen, and you can see all these buttons here on the bottom, and you can increase the length. You can do many different things if you have kids, or maybe your customer can have you the kid like, no, because your customer cannot draw on your machine, right? That would be more for you to draw on the machine, and then you can stitch it. I think it can be a moment that you can have some fun with your kids or whatever. But that's pretty cool. So here I just wrote my name, and pretty much it. If I want to embroider my name, I can just do it. So it's a cool function. Okay, we made it. This is the last button, and it is just some more information about the machine. I am very sorry if this video was too long. I really tried to give you all the information you need so you can be comfortable and make an educated decision in purchasing your machine. I know you will not going to regret. I'm loving the machine. I'm loving the support that I'm receiving from the customer service people. They are really there every time I need it. I have not talked to them lately because I am already learning how to use the machine. My only question to them was about the colors, the sequence in the machine, and as soon as they reply to me, I will let you know. I can like make an updated video, I don't know. And thank you so much for watching. So before you go, okay, don't go yet, hold on. Before you go, we will review our learning objectives, our learning goals for today, okay? So now let's go over our learning goal for today. So we did an overview of the panel for the first and the second screen. That was the first 5 minutes of this video. Then we learned about the speed setting, the speed idling, the memory folder, the needle button, the sum of the functions of the machine, which was the next menu button, and the settings. As we continued to learn, we um, learned about the color changing mode, the embroidery preparation, the inching operation, the thread trimming, the frame moving, the start button, the stop button, and those 5 buttons on the top. Then on the second screen, when we press the third button, the one that shows us the USB drive, the memory folder button from the first screen, we went to the second screen and we learned about the selection mode, the sorting design, the design information, the flash drive, the USB drive, the lettering type, the doodle, and the last one was information about the machine. You're going to have the number of your machine, so things like that. So I hope you learned a lot in this video. You are feeling confident in your decision to buy your machine, and I hope I was helpful to you today, and you can make an educated decision, and I believe you will not regret. I believe you will enjoy this machine as much as I am enjoying using it. Okay, so don't go yet. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe, help me grow my channel while I help you grow your business. Okay, so make comments. Let me know what else do you want to learn. What else? Stacy wanted to know about the panel. What do you want to know? Let me know. All right, I'll see you the next time. Thank you so much. Bye bye. So then we finished by seeing things on the second screen. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Um, if you like this video, please uh, like it. Okay, like it, comment, subscribe it, because YouTube needs to know that the content that I'm dropping is relevant. So if you don't like, you don't comment, you don't do anything, you just watch it, YouTube does not show it to people, and then it's almost like my channel is about embroidery, but I'm not talking about embroidery basically. So just help me out, please. And at the same way Stacy asked for this video, please let me know in the comments below, what do you want to see in this channel? What do you want me to look for you? If you have not watched my first video, please go ahead and watch it, like it, subscribe. And in that video I told you that I do not pretend to know everything. If I know, I will tell you, I will make a video, I will do it. And if I don't know, guess what? I will still figure it out so I can deliver the information that you asked for. All right, so help me out, let me help you grow your business, and please help me with my YouTube channel as well. All right, I'll see you the next time, and remember, my next video will be about making an applique using your keyboard font, the font that you already have on your keyboard, or if you don't, I am going to show you where you can download the font to change it to an applique and embroider it. All right, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being with me for almost 50 minutes, and I'll see you the next time. Bye bye.